Okay. So good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Distinguished guests. So today, today is a Onam. So happy Onam to all. We had a very good, delicious lunch, which is actually Sadhya, Onam Sadhya. And our gleeful Malayali colleagues, they served this for 25 types of dishes. I heard it is around 60 dishes in Kerala, during that celebration. So we enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed today with the afternoon session. Yeah. Okay, now I request all of you to repeat Toastmasters mission along with me. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication skills
and leadership skills,
resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Yeah, dear all, in order to run this session very effectively, I request all of you to follow some ground rules and follow some tips about using this Zoom meeting for the online members. This session, if anybody are using this laptop or smartphones, please keep it in your muted mode unless you are using it. But keep your video of your system on always. If you are taking break for any reason, you can switch off that video and audio system to that duration only. Now, as part of this health, safety, and environment, if anybody wants to use the washroom for the benefit of this guest, the gents washroom is on my left side. Now, today there is no ladies. Otherwise, the ladies washroom is on right side. If there is any emergency call or by any for the safety reasons, we request all the members to take this exit, this door, and don't take the lift, but take the stairs and move towards the front side of this building to in the assembly point. So, in order to respect the plurality and diversity of the members here, we refrain from using some critical subjects like sex, politics, and religion. And we request all the members, those who are speaking, to arrange their speech accordingly. Now, I request, please help me to welcome our President, Toastmaster Varghese Chiran, on the dais.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Let us give a round of applause to our acting Sergeant Toastmaster Santosh Karkar. He gave a lot of safety measures, and for us to think, not only when we are in Toastmaster in this room, whenever we go to any new place, I remember like that. Any new place, we would like to know any hotel or any place, please come. So we are in a celebration mood. Yesterday we had Onam. Today it's continuing as Onam. And today also Raksha Bandhan Day. So we are in the celebration mode. I'm coming from the office, so I couldn't change my clothes. And some of you all busy from the office, I can understand. We have few guests today. So let us know about them. Then we start. May I know your good name and where you work? How long you're in Oman? Okay. Okay.
From working here, Boston International.
Vasan International. Okay. Okay.
And I Here is coming, coming.
Toastmaster, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Samanth Kumar Ganapati, coming from Ruby. Okay, so actually I'm working in Altasar trading since 2021.
Okay.
Before that, I was in Dubai for 5 years.
Okay.
So here almost 2 years completed. And then I completed graduation in mechanical engineering. So I'm married also, having 2 kids. So life is going well. So just Anand Swami introduced about this club owner. So I just want to know what's going on here. So that's the reason again as a guest.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dhoni. I'm from pharmacy. It's last 18 years. Actually, this is my third session. And even like to plan, join, next one first one month.
Okay. Welcome. Welcome. And Mr. Anand Kumar? Okay, hold member. Okay, so we welcome all our guests and also our members to the session Celebration Everywhere. We all know the water gets its temperature like 50 degree. I don't know at what temperature we take bath in the morning or evening. 20 degree, okay. The water temperature we take bath. 37. Yes. Hot water normally it is like 37, 38 is the temperature which normal we use. If it just go beyond it, we will not be able to sustain for a long period. And we all know that at 100 degree, the water boils and steam generates. Till 99 degree, it is just boiling water, not boiling, hot water. Just 1 degree, from 99 to 100, just 1 degree, the water generates steam and the full train load of people, like, you know, the earlier times the train works with a steam engine, takes tons and tons of weight. It carries. So what is this 1 degree? If you see the horse race, even though the both horse coming to the same level, the nose of the horse who is in the front will get the winner. And it's a big price amount. It's a gleeful situation. We all can achieve by putting extra 1 degree in our work, in our life, in anything. Most of the study says we will be very close to the goal, but we may not achieve because of lack of 1 degree. So my recommendation, before we give up, just add 1 more degree and try it, you are there. We have a Toastmaster today to lead our session today. He is with the Toastmasters more than a decade, and he supports Gavel clubs in and around Oman. He is our current club mentor. He is a distinguished Toastmaster, and he loves song, he loves cricket, and he loves a lot of things. Let us put our hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Pradeep.R to lead the session 778. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Varghese, for those wonderful introduction. As the President mentioned, let's go a degree higher. Today, the theme which I've selected is celebration everywhere. What is that? That when it comes to celebration, what comes to your mind? Let's be interactive. What comes to your mind?
Party. Enjoyment.
Enjoyment, party, dance, good food,
Jack Daniels.
puja. Yes, Toastmaster Diana Thomas?
Jack Daniels.
JD, And if you're old also, old monk also will come. Okay, new costumes. So in short, it is high in spirits in all aspects. In all aspects. So here, is it all this only that we need to celebrate is my question to you. Let us take incidents that happened just past 2 weeks. The landing of Chandrayaan on the moon. Yes, has to be said. It is a scientific achievement, which because the first country in the world that has landed at the south pole of the moon. Number two, even if we don't be the first, but any achievement that deserves recognition. Pragyananda, he came second in the FIDE World Cup Chess Championship. And for a boy at an age of 19, it is really a remarkable achievement. Then we had Neeraj Chopra winning the first gold medal in the World Championship for the javelin throw. That's very important. One more thing. Can any one of you recollect?
I celebrated Independence Day.
Independence Day, but there's another important thing which deserves a lot of importance, but unfortunately it has not been covered in our media much.
Yeah. Blind cricket.
Blind cricket is also there, not that one.
Yes.
Chess I just mentioned. Varghese, the president, is up to the mark. See, athletics is a sport where we are not that much competitive when it comes to the world standards. But this year, the World Championship,
Relay.
400 to 100 meters relay, we came second. So all these are what celebration is all about. So in this today's session, as I mentioned, let us be interactive. I do have a very good team of role players who are over here. They would come over here. They can share their celebrations. Celebration is not about the festivals that we have. It can be something which is very regional to your place, which the other members are not aware of it. So it gives them opportunity from you to tell about your village, to tell about your place, to know what is being celebrated over there. So can we go? So today, as timer, I have a very old colleague of mine. He was a colleague once and very good friend of mine. And he is from Pollachi, a beautiful place in Tamil Nadu. And please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Anand Veluswamy. Anand, I just have a small question for you.
Yes.
What is a celebration or something which you would like to share? It can be your achievement in the school or anything.
No, celebration, according to me, every day is a celebration.
Perfect.
After 7, every day will be a celebration for me.
Okay.
And I don't find reasons to be happy. Every day is a celebration and every day we should enjoy.
Thank you.
Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Camera.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. People will say time doesn't exist. Time is relative. But in Toastmasters, time is very important. All our speakers, role players will speak within their designated time. To facilitate this as a timer, I will keep noting down the time taken by all the role players and speakers, and I will come up with a detailed report at the end of the session. We have 2 prepared speeches today, and the time duration is 5 to 7 minutes. To indicate the time, I'll be showing the green light at 5th minute and amber at 6 and red light at 7. The evaluators, the speech evaluators will have 2 to 3 minutes. For them, I will show green at 2, amber at 2.5, and red at 3. Table topics, the allotted time is 2 minutes. I'll be showing green at 1, amber at 1.5, and red at 2. I hope I would request all the role players and speakers to adhere the time which is presented in our agenda. I wish good luck to all the role players and speakers. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Anand, for very clearly explaining the timing criteria. I would like to take you all to your school days precisely. What is the most happiest moment that first day of school is? It's not what I'm referring to. It can be a happy moment, but it can be a tense moment for people like me. What is the most happiest moment?
Last day. Last day of the year.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Last day of the year.
Correct. The last day of the year. The reason is that in Kerala, we have 2 other holidays, which comes for a 10-day Onam and 10-day for Christmas. Obviously, in other states also, it would be Puja holidays, or in Tamil Nadu, it would be during the Pongal holidays. The only difference is that after you join school, after the holidays, there is no distribution of your marks card. So you are relieved. The other one is a 10 days holiday. After the 5th day, the tension mounts. After 5 days, I have to go to school. What is it that the marks, the numbers which are going to tell? So this is the only holiday which I have felt is the most memorable and the most tensionless and the most longest and the most enjoyable one. So we do celebrate it in a very good way during my school days. I hope you also do agree to it. Next, we have as a wordmaster grammarian, immediate past president, who's from a city which is full of temples. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Prabhakar, who hails from Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu.
Good evening, Gleeful Toastmaster of the Day and fellow jubilant Toastmasters. Today, I'm going to perform as a wordmaster grammarian. It's a dual role. So I will take up the wordmaster as well as grammarian role. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any misuse of English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, and thoughts. As a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So today, the word of the day is gleeful, which means full of high-spirited delight. It's an adjective word. We can use it anonymous wherever it is possible. And synonyms are elated, joyful, jubilant, joyous. A friend's gleeful face tells you she has got great news or heard a hilarious joke. And gleeful kids will sometimes even scream with joy. In 17th century, the alternate adjective gleesome competed with gleeful. Both come from an old English root gliu, G-L-I-U, which means mirth, play, sport, and also music and mockery. Examples how to use this word in the sentence. I knew I would be happy to see him, but I didn't expect to feel gleeful. The opening section of his speech also goes on the attack, fulfilling ad hernians, rather gleeful injunction to use this section to make our adversaries unpopular. He says the gleeful look on my face is why he keeps this picture so close. Dimple felt a gleeful grin spread across her face. He looked gleeful gloating as though my first tightening on his shirt was exactly he would have wished. He was gleeful about the idea of making his own movie. He seemed almost gleeful that his party had lost their majority. So I will I request all the speakers and role players try to use the word of the day gleeful. I will submit my report at the end of the session when general evaluator called upon. Thank you. Over to Gleeful Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Just a minute. Can you just share any of your celebration moments which you feel that the members would not know, especially from your
Yes.
hometown?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, for providing the opportunity. I used to celebrate whenever I'm doing any achievement and whenever we are performing any special occasions, not only special occasion, for if my son is achieving any sports activity or if he is getting any award, immediately we will celebrate with the family. And even I also used to share with the celebration with my friends so that it will spread happiness to all. So they also get positive moment and they also try to achieve that celebration. Thank you. Over to
Thank you.
Master Lady.
Thank you, Wordmaster Grammarian. What Toastmaster Prabhakar was mentioning is that not to miss out any opportunity that you get to celebrate. It need not be big. It can be a very small act also. Within the family, with your friends, don't miss out to celebrate on any activity. And he has introduced a very wonderful word, which is gleeful. Definitely my objective as a Toastmaster of the day is to make you all feel gleeful. So now we move on to the arc counter. Arc counter is taken up by our current VP membership. He was a VP PR in the club earlier, and definitely his role as VP PR has definitely elevated the role of the VP PR during his tenure. And now as VP membership also is doing a very good job. And he also is from Kerala, and he hails from a place called Kottarakara, which is near Trivandrum. So please join me in welcoming our counter, Toastmaster Rajesh. So Rajesh, before we start your stories on celebration, let it be your children's achievement or your interaction with Sadhguru, anything of your choice.
Thank you. Good evening, Gleeful Toastmasters of the day and Gleeful fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Celebration. Actually, first of all, always the Onam is the main celebration which comes to my mind because it's a celebration for 10 days. And each and every day we start collecting flowers, make that flower atapu, that is the we do it every day on Onam, from starting from first day to 10th day. So that itself gets a lot of joy, and also when it comes to the village, the atmosphere itself is different. We all people celebrate. There is no religion differentiation or anything. We all come together and celebrate. That's the specialty of Onam. But if I want to give this to my kids or the next generation, there is a lot of limitations and we are busy with the work and all of the things. But I try myself maximum to involve and to celebrate each and every events. Recently, I just purchased some flowers because they were idle, and mother went to India and they were sitting there watching television. So office day, I thought buy some flowers and give to them. And when I came back during the lunchtime, I noticed a wonderful atapu in front of my house, and the joy and the kids' happiness was unforgettable. So that's created, and the younger one said, just do this every year. That struck my mind. So we have to celebrate each and everything. Sorry, so it is a bit lengthier. So I wanted to come back to my role. as an arc counter, the purpose of arc counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I'll also listen for filler sounds, including and I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speakers use these expressions. Over to you, Toastmaster Pradeep. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajesh, for well explaining the role of arc counter. Definitely what we do right now is what we learn from our parents or our forefathers. So it's very important that the tradition has to be transferred to the next generation. And with this story of Rajesh, definitely it should be what it should inspire each and every one of us. Definitely it is a challenging job in this current generation to bring them in our track, but to a certain extent, we have to keep them aware of what is there. Then we have the next role is of a Hark Master. See, Hark Master is a fairly new Toastmaster role, Toastmaster in our club. Definitely in our recently held annual day celebration, the joy which his daughter brought by participating in made the environment so joyful and gleeful that we all were excited by the interest she showed over there during the session, during our session, and it was a cultural activity which most of you would have attended. Toastmaster Suresh, who hails from Manarkudi in Tamil Nadu, is our arc counter, Hark Master, sorry. Please welcome to Hark. Suresh, what you would like to share about your?
Good evening, Toastmaster. Good evening, TMOD, and guests. The celebration which comes to mind in my childhood, Deepavali days. Whenever the Deepavali comes in a year, the celebration started before 10 days. When I was child, my friends, we started to go for the town for the evening time. Then we started to collect crackers. Before Deepavali, we started 10 days. We will count how many crackers we have in the home. Then the Deepavali happened next day. We used to go for all the friend house. How many papers, wasted papers who have more? They are the good. Yeah, cracker counter. Immediately it's come to mind. That celebration still in my mind. And today, a famous book author and a writer, Robin Sharma, once said, listening is a master skill for personal and professional greatness. So listening is very important skill and essential for effective communication. And unless we understand each speaker what he's saying, we will not communicate very effectively. That's the reason I took up a role as an art master. So today my role is I'm going to check how well we have listened to the session by the questionnaires. Who are saying correct answer will be rewarded by treasurer. Those not Ramaling Mangala and vote.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh, for taking all of us through our younger days of going around neighbors' houses during a festival time. Thank you very much. Next, we have the general evaluator. Our general evaluator hails from Kutanad, which we call it's in Alapi district. There is a particular tree in his area. Now it is quite common in many places. Initially, the boat race which you all see, which depicts the emblem of Kerala at many places, apart from the elephant, originated from his place. And it is a particular type of boat which they call snake boat, which is rowed by almost 100 plus of rowers over there. And there is a very famous trophy that is there, which is called the Nehru Trophy, which happens near his house. So let us know what is the boat race and his experience of sharing the boat race all over the way from Alapi. Please welcome Toastmaster Praveen.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guest. I'm so gleeful to be your general auditor tonight. First of all, answer for the question about the boat race. I'm also not that much aware about the history of the boat race. I know it is originated from somewhere my place, Alapi, and more than 100 people are rowing the boat. And only one time I tried to do that one, but only one day I went for the practice, and after that I fell down because it is physically it is very difficult for me. And regarding the celebration, same like what all you told, like Onam and normal school celebrations come to my mind. But recently I noticed that if people are celebrating, I have a tendency to go and sleep. Some people are saying it is an abnormal, but okay, it seems comfortable for me. So that is my celebration now. And coming to my role, a general evaluator. As a general evaluator tonight, I will keep an eye on each and everything happen to the session from starting to till end. And I am also conducting the evaluation session after the table topics. And I will come back with my report with all the details like positives, negatives, and constructive suggestions. Till then, enjoy the session and back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Praveen. It's not abnormal, it is a new normal, we can just call it. So thanks for sharing your experience on trying to row a boat. Next, we move on to the speech segment. Today, we have, before that, I would like to call upon the evaluator. Evaluator for the speaker number 1 is very busy, engrossed, I think so, reading the criteria, objective. Okay. He hails from Madurai. And if you ask me what is famous in Madurai, Madurai Idli? Jigardanda. Then let us listen from him. Is there anything other than this? Toastmaster Selva, the evaluator for this. Apart from Jigardanda, Jallikattu, Idli, anything else?
Bigger than Selva.
Can we have a round of applause for our celebrating TMOD Toastmaster Pradeep? Indeed, it is my pleasure to stand before you as an evaluator today. But before proceeding to my role, to answer upon our TMOD's queries, I hail from Madurai. Madurai is called as a temple city, which is surrounded by a lot of temples around. It's famous for many things, but to cut short, Madurai jasmine, we call it as Malli, is very famous. And we have a lot of food varieties, which is Murugan Idli shop, very famous, which is near the Meenakshi Amman temple. And then we also call Madurai as a Tunga Nagaram, a sleepless city. At any point of time, you can drop in, hop in, and have a Garma Garam Idli with 3-4 chutneys, and you can taste your bites. The most important thing of Madurai is, though we have a lot of religious festivals we celebrate, but there is always a festival of land, I would say, which is called Kallalagar festival. It's a temple which is situated in Alagar Koil, which is around 15 kilometers from the center of Madurai. Once in a year, lot of people in and around the villages near Madurai city gather and celebrate this festival called Kallalagar festival. The main concept is that the god Perumal comes from the mountain for his sister's marriage. But before the arrival of Perumal, the sister marriage would be completed. So the brother comes
and goes back in anger. So this is a festival mode of Kalalagar festival. With this, let me conclude the Madurai special and to proceed on my role as an evaluator today. Today, I'm going to evaluate our speaker, Toastmaster Mrinal Naitani, who is going to deliver his speech from Pathways Dynamic Leadership Level 1, Project 2, Writing a Speech with Purpose. And he has titled his speech as How Design Shapes Our World. The time allotted to you, Mrinal, is 5 to 7 minutes. Now that you are into the second level, you have broken your ice in your last speech. Being and listening to some of your speeches, we believe that you are going to bring a lot of gleefulness in your speech today. Let me point out some of the criteria which we look in your speech today. You may choose any topic on your convenience to deliver your speech. The main content is your comfortness, your ideas, your voice modulation, and the eye contact with the audience, and your confidence in delivering your speech. I hope with this criteria, we are looking forward for your wonderful speech today. Back to TMOD.
Thank you. Today, as mentioned by the evaluator Toastmaster Selva, our speaker, the first speaker is Toastmaster Mrinal. We all would have heard his icebreaker speech, and definitely from that, we came to know more about him. And he is a design professional. He hails from, any idea from which place apart from Mrinal? The reason why I asked is that I had a doubt and I just got it clarified. From? From? Correct. No, now he stays in Gobra. That is correct. Yeah, he's from Dehradun, Uttarakhand, as mentioned by Toastmaster Harsha. And his speech is titled it as How Design Shapes Our World. So please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Mrinal for his speech number 2 from the Pathways Dynamic Leadership, How Design Shapes the World.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
And my dear guests. How design shapes our world. When people think of design, they often think about fashion, interiors, designer jewelry, something that is supposed to look beautiful, or something that's supposed to be obnoxiously expensive. Well, today I'm here to tell you that design is not just about the aesthetics. It's a lot more. Design is fundamental. From the moment you wake up, you come in contact with things that are designed to some extent. From the toothbrush you put into your mouth, to the cup you have your tea or coffee in, to the newspaper you read, and the car you drive to work. Everything is a result of the design process. But how did we get here? Well, let me take you back just a couple thousand years. One of the earliest examples of design can be traced back to when the first emperor of China was waging a war against his enemies to expand his territory. One of his problems was that each archer in his army used a different bow, a different arrow. So let's say if an archer died, a fellow archer couldn't grab an arrow from his quiver and continue shooting at the enemy because the arrow literally wouldn't fit his bow. So the emperor and his advisors decided to standardize the design of the arrows so that each arrow could fit any bow. Fast forward to 2007, San Francisco, California. A man in a black turtleneck is about to introduce the world to a revolutionary new product that is going to change personal computing and the way we communicate. You all know what I'm talking about. The iPhone.
iPhone, Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs hyped it as 3 products in one. The already popular iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. For many people, the touchscreen display was the iPhone's main appeal. Its design, which was quite sleek, and the intuitive interface and the app ecosystem transformed the concept of a mobile phone to a multifunctional device that encompasses communication, productivity, entertainment, and more. From the day of its launch, the iPhone has sold over 2.6 billion units, has been updated multiple times, and continues to be a mainstay in the smartphone market. Remember your toothbrush?
Yeah.
A group of people came together and designed many concepts and prototypes, eventually out of which one was selected for mass manufacturing and eventually made it to shelves of the shopping store, where it was meant to catch your attention and then eventually fulfill its purpose to give you a sparkling smile. But is design only limited to things we can touch and feel? Technology has transformed our world drastically, to an extent that we look at our phone more than 220 times a day. I bet that's more than what you thought. The digital world dictates the rhythm of our lives. And it's not by accident, it's by design. Design is not just making things look good. Design is making things useful. It is making experiences more effective and effortless. Design is giving form to ideas that elevate our lives. It is making sense of disorder and eventually making things and experiences that elevate the quality of our lives. Design is not just for looks. It's learning from the past and shaping the future. Design is what shapes the world. Thank you.
So, Mrinal, wonderful speech. Can you just share with us any of the celebrations, especially that is very popular in your region, Dehradun?
Well, my region in Dehradun, I haven't lived there much, so I haven't taken part in the local celebrations over there, unfortunately. But when I think of celebration, I think of my time celebrating Navratri in Bangalore at the Art of Living International Center. So 9 days of fun and bliss where the whole world comes together and we celebrate together as the one world family. And that's what it is, the taking in the energy and all that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Always when it comes to celebrations, things should not go as we plan. Do you all agree?
Yes.
This unexpected changes is something which we have to expect during any celebration, but we have to accommodate those unexpected situations, not to go below on the spirit of the celebration. Today, before I was just coming to the session over here, I had an interaction with distinguished Toastmaster Jinachandran, and he was just asking a simple question. What did you refer to as casual dress? Should I come? How should I come? Dressed or not? I said, you have to come dressed. The dress, which dress you have to wear is your choice. I told that I'm just coming directly from the office. He told it is not fair on your part to come in that dress by setting a guideline and criteria over here. So you have to also change your dress. So definitely, in order to bring in that celebration mood, as somebody mentioned that I have come from Goa, this is a celebration, dresses for the celebration in Goa. Yes, celebrations everywhere is happiness. So please join me in welcoming the evaluator for the second speaker, whose name is not there in the agenda. This is the unexpected change, which I mentioned. Our distinguished Toastmaster, Jinachandran Nambiar. Ditya? Yeah. Anything from Kannur or anywhere, because you have left Kannur for many years now. So mostly your celebration memories would be outside. Like to share?
Yeah. Toastmaster of the day. I'm actually a Kannurite, actually, Kannurian, you can say. I'm from Kannur. Kannur is the land of looms. How many of you heard of land of looms? A lot of weaving units are there in Kannur. But more than that, there is a traditional folklore system there. How many of you heard of Kannur Teyyams? Folklore. It's very famous. Actually, as DTM Pradeep mentioned, I'm not in Kannur for the last almost 40 years. 32 years I am in Oman, and prior to that I was in Mumbai. So almost 4 decades I'm not there. So I have experienced only a couple of times. Luckily, during my last leave, I happened to witness this folklore called Teyyam, and they come in different forms. You know, one should only watch and experience. I just can't explain here in 2 or 3 minutes. It is something very interesting. They speak a lot of story also. Okay, now talking about my role as an evaluator. Today, I'm also very gleeful to be the evaluator of our speaker, Toastmaster Ramalingam Vengala. He's here. Okay, I'm searching for him actually. This assignment is totally impromptu for me because till evening I was not aware that I'm going to be evaluated. So he is going to deliver project number 3, level 2 from a path called presentation mastery from the Pathways Communication Manual. Okay, the project is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. She has got 5 to 7 minutes, and what is expected out of this project is clearly define how Toastmaster envision mentoring and how this member, what kind of mentoring aspect or as a protege, what is that he has to share from his own life experience, any aspect of his life experience he can share. So where while he was in the school or while he was in the college or maybe during his Toastmasters life or maybe his personal life, what kind of mentoring experience he has experienced, and he will share with that during this project delivery. That's what is expected out of this project. He has got 5 to 7 minutes for this. And I wish him all the very best. Over to Toastmaster today.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Jinachandran, for well explaining the criteria, and apart, a big thanks for taking this role as an evaluator in the last minute. So today our speaker, Toastmaster, second speaker for today, Toastmaster Ramalingam Vengala, as per his schedule, had other official commitments, but might be his bosses would have heard of a celebration that is happening over here. He has relieved him from that, and the last minute he said he was this paper scheduled earlier, he's ready with his speech. So definitely this is the unexpected change that I was just mentioning. We have Toastmaster Ramalingam Vengala, who hails from Nalgonda in Telangana, with a speech which is titled Ekalavya.
How to pick a right mentor. I repeat, how to pick a right mentor. Bruce Lee said, when the student is ready, master will appear in front of it. Meaning, when the student has a clarity what to do, a guidance will come in any form to do how to do. Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, and my dear guest. As part of my pathway speech, introduction to Toastmasters mentoring, I will touch 3 subjects. Number 1, effective mentoring. Number 2, my own experience in mentoring. Number 3, advantages of mentoring. Effective mentoring. The relation between mentee and mentor should not be limited only to provide the guidance and to follow the guidance. Their chemistry should match. Their minds should be together and their ideas should be synchronized. Then only there will be an effective mentoring. I will tell you an example from an epic story, Mahabharata. Dronacharya, a master of advanced military arts, went to forest with the royal children to teach them archery tricks. A boy called Ekalavya saw that he was gleeful and requested Dronacharya to join him as a student and teach some skills to him. Dronacharya questions him, asked him, they are royal family children. Tomorrow they are going to protect the country. Why you want to learn? The boy replied, I am living in this forest. I wanted to protect deers from leopards. When I become old also, I should sit somewhere, listen when leopard is chasing the deer, I should hit the leopard. By listening to this, Dronacharya was amazed and impressed. And Dronacharya, in his mind, he accepted him as a student, his student. But by obeying to the law of land, he should not teach anyone else other than royal family children. So he refused him. He told him the same matter to him. Boy, I am impressed of your ideology, what you have. I wanted to be your mentor, guide, teacher. But due to this law of land, I could not be your teacher. I am sorry for this. So for that reason, what the master has told, the boy was impressed. He did not stop there. He did not give up. He made a statue of Dronacharya and started practicing it as Dronacharya is teaching something to him. He was thinking himself that Dronacharya is teaching some tricks and he started practicing it. One day, Arjuna went to forest for practicing. He leave the dogs to chase the deers and he wanted to hear the bow bow sound of the dog and shoot the deers. But his surprise, in few seconds, the dog sound was stopped. Arjuna went and saw an arrow hit the mouth of the dog and dog was died. So he was looking for the person who is expert in this other than me. Then he found Ekalavya and he asked, who is your teacher? From where did you learn? The boy replied, my guru was Dronacharya. That is the effective mentoring. It's not limited to physically exchanging some guidance to the students and following it. Number two, my own experience. When I was working in Dubai, myself and my boss, we both were new in that one of the corporate company. I was in charge of one project. So there was a lot of scrap, especially copper material. So we need to sold it. Storekeeper brought some papers, quotations with different vendors. That is around 100,000 dirhams worth. When I asked my boss, he advised me. He always advised me in a right way. The way he advises, it saves me from the danger. And it takes me to new height. And it gives me a strength. That's how he gives the guidance. He told me, this business is very dirty business. Do not involve in this. And tell the storekeeper, just follow the procedures and get out of it. Don't sign anything. I just blindly followed, though I was the project in charge. In couple of months, audit was done, and who are involved in this were fired from the company. The cost of the copper was 200,000. They sold it for 100,000. The advantages of mentoring, the last topic. By doing mentoring, who will be benefited? Mentee or a mentor? I have 1 riyal, you have 1 riyal. Let us exchange the coin. I will give you 1 riyal, you give me back 1 riyal. How much you will be having? 1 riyal. I will also have 1 riyal. When, as a mentor, I exchange some wisdom to you, you will be getting the knowledge from me. And it will be doubled. And by encouraging, giving the guidance to the mentee, the mentor will get a chance to practice to become a leader. So I request all, be a mentor to your juniors, be a mentee to your seniors. That's all tonight. Over to you, TMOD.
Can we have your thoughts of what is the celebration over there?
In our region, Telangana, there is a particular festival called Batukamma. Batukamma means it's a flowers. It's a series of flowers festival. In that particular day, auspicious day, boys and gents, they go outside of the village area and they pluck the different flowers and they will bring to home. Then in the home, ladies, they will make it in a pair and they make a big size of flower bouquet type of thing. So each and every home, they will think that today our flower should be bigger than the others. But finally, when we reach there, someone will bring the bigger one. So all ladies, by keeping all the flowers in the middle, they will start roaming around the flowers by singing songs and all these things. So during that time, boys, gents, they will also join with them behind by encouraging them with the claps and with the songs, dance. So this is one different type of festival celebrations we have in our area. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, timer, can I have the time for both the speakers?
Speaker 1, 5 minutes, 37 seconds. Speaker 2, 7 minutes, 41 seconds.
41.
So,
No, first speaker. So there's no voting, definitely, because our president, no, time is time. We need to adhere to it. So it's quite unfortunate. No problem. Just take it. Okay. So we have only one speaker who is qualified for voting, that is Toastmaster Rana. See, before we just go to the break, just a quick, we have a guest, Sheikh Subhani. Can you just switch on your camera and introduce yourself?
Toastmasters. Unfortunately, I didn't connect my camera. My name. Just, I would like to introduce myself. Can I go ahead, or are you?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Okay. I am Sheikh Subhani, working as a IT team lead in a CCG in a PDO campus. I'm taking but living in Hyderabad. I have two kids, two twin kids, a boy and girl studying 6th standard in Indian School Gubra. I live in Indian School Gubra, Muscat. I'm here in Oman, almost I think it's 18 years in Oman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. How did you come to know about Kimchi Toastmasters?
Sorry, I forgot to mention my friend Rajesh. Rajesh is my my friend, and
it is a
almost
weekly membership in action.
Friend. Yes, sir.
Now, definitely any celebrations is incomplete without a feast, anything. So now it's time for the main celebrations of the celebration, which is a snacks break. I think so, if possible, we can bring it over here so as to save time, and we can go ahead with the table topics also, because in order to accommodate an additional speaker, we had to just squeeze a little. But we need to, I think so, 10 minutes, can we finish and come back, or we can bring it inside?
Depending upon what snacks we are providing.
Definitely, the aroma was excellent when we came inside, and the most senior over here, apart from Toshma, Nandako, myself and Jinathan did try effort to open. We could not open the box, to be honest to you. So let's not wait. Please join. Yeah, we are just going behind the schedule so that it's time for us to go on. So how was the snacks? Very good. Snacks was sponsored by Toastmaster Hasik, and the paisam was from the club. So have an applause for each one of you. And special thanks to Toastmaster Praveen PN for bringing the paisam all over from Ruby to here and on time. So now it is, we move on to the table topics segment. The table topics master, without wasting much time, call upon Toastmaster Hasik, who was a snack master and also the table topic master. Please welcome Toastmaster Hasik. By the way, Hasik hails from Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and their guests. Good evening. I'll just briefly tell about the festivals and celebrations in Kashmir, how we do it normally. Any celebration which is there, it starts with arranging for the cuisine, which is very special in Kashmir. It's called Wazwan. It's a delicacy which has more than 15 dishes, and it's cooked in a traditional method. They don't use cookers and gas stoves. It's traditionally cooked on big log of woods, and they use big utensil to cook it. And celebration normally starts with people gathering, the women singing around, and everyone, the guest who's coming, they come with some fruits and some bakeries along with them. And they even come with an envelope, and they give some what we normally call in India as shagun. They give to the people who are celebrating the day. That's just brief about the celebrations. It's very common for all the events which happen in Kashmir. Coming back to my role for the day, as topic master, The purpose of this role is to facilitate the table topics where the guests and the members will have an opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking. I will introduce a topic and call upon the speakers who will be given 2 minutes to speak on the subject. To begin our table topics, my first topic: which festival from a foreign country sounds exciting to you? I will repeat. Which festival or celebration from a foreign country sounds exciting to you? And since I can see DTM Nayan Thomas with a background of a foreign country, so I would like to invite DTM Nayan Thomas to speak on the topic.
Table topic master and fellow Toastmasters. The question is, I suppose, which festival from a foreign country is exciting to me?
Yes.
Am I correct? Well,
Yes.
having spent more than 3 decades in Sultanate of Oman and being an Indian, Oman is my foreign country. And I would say the National Day festival being celebrated, which until 3-4 years ago was also the birthday of the late reigning Sultan. That is the one which was being celebrated with much gala and celebrations, and that I would say is a very well organized, because right from the time I came to Oman in 85 onwards, I could see the whole country dressed up and celebrating this National Day in November. What is special about it is the discipline followed even during the celebration. There is no breakdown of any essential services. Though there are holidays, there were being part of the celebration in my company, which is dealing with the major fireworks. Till I could remember, none of the essential services were affected. There is no inconvenience caused to the citizens till everybody enjoyed the celebrations which is conducted in the major cities of the country, and every, say, the 25th anniversary, the 40th anniversary, or it was major celebrations. And I would say there is, when I compare with what happens here, this stands out with no inconvenience. All the citizens with due respect take part in all the celebrations, whether it is the processions, the parade, the march past, or the display in the Gobra Post ground. All these things I have witnessed. Even there was a fireworks competition, but everything went on very well with no inconvenience to the citizens. Kudos to the government. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, DTM Nayan Thomas. This was talking about an existing festival. Now let's get innovative. My next topic is If you had the authority to invent a new festival, how would you design it? I will repeat. If you had the authority to invent a new festival, how would you design it? For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Nanda Kumar.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. New festival. I prefer the peace all over the world. So the new festival I will introduce as the table topic master ask. Peace Day of the whole world. In that, every citizen of all the countries should participate, celebrating at their own places, offices, and it should be a rememberable day. Forget the war, forget the fights, but be competitive. Each country can be competitive in sports and other things, yes. But towards a goal, there is peace of mind, and peace is there. Like in our home, peace is there, happiness will be there. Progressing of individual children will grow up. By that, the world become better in the future. And we can enjoy the technology. Because of technology, online meeting we have, same way, the Peace Day should be celebrated all over the countries, as I said, which is very important for each family, neighbors, country citizens, and unity is important. Therefore, I insist, peace is one of the most important things. To be happy in this world, we were born to be happy, live happy, and hand over to the next generation. Over to you, Kedutta.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nanda Kumar. Excellent thought to have a peace day, which will make everyone gleeful for the rest of their lives. Now, moving on to the next topic. My next question would be, which of the three aspects of celebration do you find most appealing? Do you find most appealing? Food, clothes, or the ritual? I will repeat. Which of the three aspects of celebration do you find most appealing? Food, clothes, or the ritual? For this, I would like to call our guest, Mr. Anand. Anand, right? The topic is, for any celebration or festival, which of the three things do you find most appealing? Is it the food, is it the celebration, or the ritual?
So there is no two options. There is only option food only. Okay. I'm much better love for food actually. Mostly I spend outside in restaurant only. First of all, whenever I'm getting the holidays, okay, mainly for in lunch or dinner, mostly in outside, okay, with family. Okay, so all of them enjoying the food. In that, biryani is our favorite one. Okay, so even in house also we are making the food in every week, and even festival time also we are making the biryani itself. So food is the important for the festival time. Amijay, thanks for that. Okay.
Thank you so much. Who doesn't love food? Food is one of the essence of any festival and celebration. Moving on to the next topic. Answer this question in the most funny and imaginative way. The question is, what do you do for work? The question is, what do you do for work? But you have to answer this question in the most funny and imaginative way and not tell exactly what you do for work. For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Harsha on the stage. Yes, you have to answer this in funny way. What do you do for work? Like, you don't have to say that you're a teacher. You have to say something else, like in a funny or imaginative way. If not a teacher, what do you do for work?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
In a funny way, okay. So I have to tell them I'm not teacher, but in something else. Okay. What to say? Yes. Actually, I'm teacher only.
I'll give you another question. If you were invited to cook out on any festival, barbecue or something else, what would you bring and why? What kind of food would you prefer to cook outside the festival?
Better.
Actually, the other answer also you can speak on that.
Yes. In our India, many festivals are there, but in our Gujarat, especially Navratri, Diwali, Kite Festival, and Holi. Okay, so I would like to say about Kite Festival. So we are going on terrace, and we need to take food there in the terrace. So especially in our Gujarat, matla undhiyu is very famous. So I would like to cook at home matla undhiyu, and I will take them, and we all will enjoy together with my family, friends, neighbors, with everyone. So I would like that matla undhiyu. Especially matla undhiyu, we are cooking in one matka, and we are putting in the fire, and after that cooked, and then we will put the masala in that. That is the matla undhiyu. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Harsha. We keep talking about food. We just had snacks break, and it makes me more hungry to listen, keep listening about the food. For the next topic, if you time travel 200 years in the past, how would you prove that you were from the future? I'll repeat the topic. If you time travel 200 years into the past, how would you prove that you were from the future? For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Santosh Karkal, who was busy writing something. I will repeat the topic. If you travel 200 years in the past as a time traveler, how would you prove that you are from the future?
Thank you, table topic master. This is a question wherein I need to know what has happened, how was the people living 200 years past. But yeah, if I get the chance to travel 200 years past, first I'll be introducing myself as to prove myself as a scientific guy where people will not understand those things. By that, when they don't understand, when I talk about science and technology, those people during that time, they will be wondering what this fellow is talking. And people will be just discussing all around me. This person is not talking in the way we are talking. Where is it come from? And this question arises with everybody, and everybody gathers and they come together and they'll ask, what you're talking? And when they speak, I can understand. So they will be wondering, how? You understand our language, but we don't understand your language. So I will be trying to help them understand that since I have, grown 200 years, more than you, and I'm very, advanced. So I can understand you, but you cannot understand me. So I am really, time traveled back, and I'm behind 200 years. So I wanted to introduce you. Now I introduce you. If you want to come 200 years future, you are always welcome, because everybody wants to grow. I know you also wants to grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Santosh. That brings end to the session of table topics. May I request the timer to please tell the time for each speaker?
The first speaker, Toastmaster Nan Thomas, 3 minutes 30 seconds. Second speaker, Toastmaster Nandakumar, 1 minute 41 seconds. 3 minutes 30 seconds. Yeah. Yes. Third speaker, Toastmaster Nandakumar, Anand Kumar, 50 seconds. Toastmaster Harsha, fourth speaker is 1 minute 5 seconds. Toastmaster Santosh Karakal, 1 minute 45 seconds. Except third speaker, Mr. Anand, everyone is qualified. Nine and Thomas.
First speaker is not qualified.
Yeah. People who are qualified are Toastmaster Nandakumar, Toastmaster Harsha, and Toastmaster Santosh Karakal. Okay.
May I request everyone to vote for the table topics, and I request the Toastmaster of the day to please take over the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hasek, for those wonderful topics. He deserves a round of applause. Dear Toastmasters, the objective of taking a theme celebration everywhere is to make you all lighter, because celebration is always about together, being together, enjoying together. I hope to a large extent I have satisfied it, and the learning what I see is that we being a club, the members stretch south of from Kerala, Tamil Nadu up to the North Kashmir. So you did get a glimpse of the various celebrations that are happening in various parts of our country. So now I move on to the evaluation session. To conduct the evaluation session, I call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Praveen. Can I have a round of applause for the general evaluator?
Good evening once again. Without wasting much time, I request Toastmaster Selva to evaluate the speaker one speech. Please welcome Toastmaster Selva.
Thank you, General Evaluator. My speaker, Toastmaster Mrinal. Yes. I just checked whether you are very attentive for the evaluation. My dear Toastmasters, can you have a round of applause for my speaker, Toastmaster Mrinal? Toastmaster Mrinal has delivered his second speech today in our club by choosing a topic, how design shapes our world. Do you believe that the topic is very relevant to the current scenario?
Yes.
Do you believe that Toastmaster Mrinal has justified in giving a speech?
Yes.
Without having a second thought, can we have a round of applause to my speaker? Toastmaster Mrinal has delivered a well-crafted speech today in front of us, bringing us a delightful topic about designs. As a speaker, for any speaker to get the attention of the audience is very important. To choose a topic in such a way that it is correlated, it is very much related to the current trend. And that was very well aptly chosen by my speaker, Toastmaster Mrinal, today. I very much liked about your transition of the stories in explaining the concept of design. Right from the Chinese war, by choosing the bow and arrow and the theory behind developing a design. And slowly he transformed into the Steve Jobs iPhone and then ended up with the brushes. So I believe all these three examples, what he has narrated today is very relevant to our day-to-day expertise. Having said that, the most important thing or the quality what I like with Toastmaster Mirinol is his confidence in delivering his speech, his comfortness, and his conviction in the way he chose the topic to deliver in front of us. A very good speech, very well prepared. Having said that, as a criteria for the today's speech is about the audience attention, the audience interest and comfortness, you have very well excelled it. But yes, there are some areas of improvement where as an evaluator, you could see sometimes in between your speeches to check your notes, which was very evident as a audience to us, which may at times reduce the interest of an attention in the audience side. Maybe this is due to the lack of practice, maybe I would say. If you're able to do it, and there is one more recommendation is that we allocate each and every time a mentor to all the Toastmasters. So before you give the speech, get an opinion with your mentor on how to deliver it. Having put across all these things, I'm very sure that you will excel in your upcoming speeches. Nevertheless, today's speech was one of the spectacular speech you gave in our session today. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Silva, for that constructive evaluation. Moving to the second speech delivered by Toastmaster Ramalingam, I request everyone to welcome the DTM Jinachandra for the evaluation.
Must turn it on. Difficult, man. I'll solve it. It's okay. You can hear me. General evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests present here. It was indeed a gleeful experience for me to listen to that wonderful speech delivered by Toastmaster Ramalingam Bengala. You have successfully completed the project, and I would request every one of us present here to give a thunderous round of applause. Congratulations to you. You have met all the criteria set out in the manual on this particular project on mentoring. What I like the most is you have very well planned and crafted your speech in such a way that it has a very good opening. You asked a question that how to pay the right mentor, and with the Bruce Lee's statement that when the student is ready, he will see the master will appear. That was a very good opening. Okay, from there onwards, he categorized the speech nicely in three portions. One is about the effective mentoring. Second is his own experience. And third, the advantages. And that too, with wonderful one anecdote and one personal experience. One anecdote, such a reputed anecdote of Ekalavya and Dronacharya, and how Ekalavya learned or how Ekalavya got benefited out of the mentoring of Dronacharya, you have very well demonstrated in the speech. Now, talking about your own experience, I really love that experience. It not only just proves the mentoring, it also proves the honesty. Because when the scrap was about to sell, you were almost about to involve yourself. And because of the mentoring from your boss, you got out of it and you got escaped basically. Because 200,000 dirhams item were supposed to have sold at 100,000 dirhams. And he was also one of the, he would have been one of the culprits. That is a wonderful experience you have shared. And talking about the general speech criteria, the confidence with which you deliver the speech, the poise, I can say, the calm and composed manner of delivery, effortless delivery, I would say, because you were at your own pace, not bothered by anything, with full of confidence, clarity. Everyone was able to listen to your speech very well. So, in all, what is required for a very good speech is very well met in this project. Now, what is that Toastmaster Ramalingam Vengala could have done slightly differently that will make his speech to the next level? Having delivered few speeches already in the club, now it is time for you to slightly look into how to incorporate vocal variety. Because you were using the same pace, same pitch. There were scope for incorporating vocal variety, particularly when the dialogues were happening between you and boss, number one, between Dronacharya and the student Ekalavya. You could have lowered and increased the volume or lowered the volume so that we can distinguish the dialogue well. That is one thing. Second suggestion is it's time for you to also think that we are getting good speakers, then we need to ensure that we are completing it within the allocated time. So you need to, I would have loved you finishing it because such a good speech, you just lost because of 10 additional seconds. Otherwise, it would have been a wonderful speech. On the whole, you met all the criteria set out in the manual. Very well crafted, very good organized speech, and well delivered speech, and a gleeful speech. And the ending, I loved it. Be a mentor to your junior and be a mentee of your senior. That's also wonderful. Kudos to you. Over to General Vice.
Thank you, DTM Jina, for that constructive evaluation. Moving to next evaluator, let's hear from our wordmaster grammarian how our grammar was and how many times we used the word of the day. Please welcome Toastmaster Prabhagar for the report.
Good evening, Gleeful General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. This is my time, reporting time. Can anyone say how many times the word of the day today we have been used?
11. 12.
Next, further. You are very close, sir. No. It's a 16. Toastmaster Ramalingam Mangala, it's a very close. Thank you so much. So we have used almost 16 times. Toastmaster Varghese used 1 time. DTM Pradeep used 3 times. And the synonyms also used joyful. And Toastmaster Rajesh used 2 times and synonyms 2 times. Toastmaster Praveen PN 1 time. Our evaluator Toastmaster Selva 1 time. And our second evaluator DTM Jeena Chandran 4 times. Yeah, he is the highest. And truly yours 2 times. Toastmaster Ramalingam Mangala 1 time. Our table topic master Toastmaster Hazik 1 time. So total 16 times. So really it was a pleasure listening to your speeches. And we found some of the good sayings, some good wordings also. And one correction, I would like to point out some of the words and sentences that used incorrectly by one of our speaker. Instead of need to sold it, he would have used need to sell it. That would be correct. And quote, it's said by our counter, our Hawk Master, listening is a master skill for personal and professional greatness, said by Robin Sharma. And our speaker, Toastmaster Mrinal, used good word, it's obnoxious. And our DTM Pradeep also used glimpses of celebration. And our evaluator, spectacular speech. And our another speaker, design is shaping the future. Good sayings. And our another speaker, Toastmaster Ramalingam Mangala, said, when the student is ready, master will appear in front of him. That's all my Wordmaster Grammarian report. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prabhagar, for that excellent report. Now we can check how much clarity we have our speech. To check that, please welcome our accounder, Toastmaster Rajesh, to present his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Dear fellow members, it was very gleeful session.
Yes.
I could not very less hours or repeated things. Maybe I have to improve my listening skills. I have to take more accounder role, or it was a very gleeful session. Which one you agree? Okay. So few I recorded. Toastmaster of the day, DTM Pradeep, 2R, and Toastmaster Praveen, 2R, and Toastmaster Shalva, 2R, and 1 soap, and Toastmaster Mrinal, and 1 repeat, US, and 2 long pause, and DTM Jinachandran sir, so I have to learn from you what a flawless speech. No, nothing. I couldn't find anything. So, yeah. And Toastmaster Ramalingam 1. Actually, the wonderful thing is during the speech, I couldn't find anything or any repeat. It was very perfect. I think impromptu question. That time I recorded 1 hour. And Toastmaster Hazik 2 hour. And Toastmaster Nayan Thomas 1 hour. And Toastmaster Nandakumar sir, perfect. Nothing. It was very smooth. Let's have a big round of applause. And Toastmaster Ananda, good. As a guest, you did wonderful. And Toastmaster Sandosh, 1 hour. And Toastmaster Prabhakar, 1 hour. And that's what my report. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajesh, for your excellent report. Now it's the time to check the time. So please welcome our timer Anand Veluswamy to present his timer's report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmasters, we started the meeting at 7:29, 1 minute prior the schedule. And we took meeting called for the order took 7 minutes 29 seconds. Introduction of role players took 30 minutes. Project speakers took 27 minutes. And till now we are behind the schedule of around 10 minutes due to a lot of celebrations. Since we are all in celebration mode, so we took the time for granted. Anyway, I too don't want to take too much time on this one. So with this, I will wind up to the General Evaluator. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand Veluswamy, for your report. Now it's time for the interactive session. For Hackmaster, I welcome today's Hackmaster, Toastmaster Suresh Kaliyaperumal, to conduct the session.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Thank you, General Evaluator. And are you ready for the challenge?
Yes.
Yes. I'm just going to check how you have listened. Our guest, Dhoni, said how many time of session he's attending?
3.
Correct. But the question which is related to them, they are not ready to answer, not tell the answer. Actually, answer. Okay. And Toastmaster Varghese said the boiling time of water is
100 degree.
100 degrees. 100 degrees, not 1 degree.
Plus 1 degree.
Yeah, plus 1 degree.
And Toastmaster Praveen said during boat racing, there is a trophy given by winners. That is name.
Not by Pradeep.
Toastmaster Selva said the flower is very famous in Madurai. might be no.
Gas, gas, gas.
And Mrinal from?
That is good.
And Mrinal told during his speech, Apple has been sold how many billions?
2.5 billion. 2.5 billion.
No.
No,
No.
2.5 billion.
No.
25 billion.
No. Mrinal? Yeah, correct.
6 billion.
2 and 6 was there. So
Yeah.
I
DTM Janachandran told how many decades he's been in Oman.
4 decades.
Three.
3 decades.
4 decades.
No, 3 in Oman. In Oman, 3 decades.
Okay, 4 decades.
In Oman, only 3 decades.
Yes, to prove.
And Toastmaster Ramalinga Mangala, when he's during his speech, he said, what kind of metal has been sold in Dubai? Yeah. The copper was sold actually is how much rupees?
100,000.
200. But 200, yeah. And our guest Sheikh Subani, he said where he is working.
Where is he working?
Yeah, be good. One more question, last. Toastmaster Nandakumar said here when he has authority to invent the day, which day?
Peace.
And Toastmaster, final question, Anandakumar said which food is favorite?
Biryani.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaliaparamal, for that interactive session. He offers some sweets, right?
Yes.
While doing introduction, but he did not give.
That is treasurer will give.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, so please.
Safely he come.
Okay, dear friends, so we are moving to General Evaluators report. As per the timer, it was session was started by 7:29. Unfortunately, your General Evaluator were late for some 5 minutes because of some technical issues. Apologize for that. I hope Sajandam start the meeting with a lot of energy and positivity. Again, I came after that. President starts with the meeting with a positive note, connects with the theme of the session. And also he inspires with the examples of horse race, then boiling point of water. I hope everybody inspires with that. Now moving to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pradeep come up with a wonderful theme. And he brings so many examples recently happened to connect to the theme celebration, and he wonderfully explained about the theme, and he make the role players to interact while by asking their experience about celebrations. All the role players, timer Toastmaster Anand Velswamy, Wordmaster Toastmaster Prabhagar, Account Toastmaster Rajesh, Hackmaster Toastmaster Suresh Kaliaparamal, and also General Auditor Praveen explains the criteria very well. Both the evaluators, Toastmaster Selva and DTM Janachandra explains the criteria for the speech very well. Both the speakers deliver a wonderful speech with lot of takeaway to the home. And special mention to the snack master, Toastmaster Hasik, comes with wonderful snacks, vada pav and what is the name? The Bailey. And also samosa and the Bailey. And the Bailey. First time I'm eating that one. That's regular. And also special mention for the club to sponsor Python to link with the theme celebration. And coming to the table topics, Toastmaster Hasik brings the topic linked to the theme of the day celebration. And all the speakers, DTM Nainan Thomas, DTM Nandakumar, August, Mr. Anand, Toastmaster Ms. Harsha, and Toastmaster Santosh Karkare all delivered their speech very well. I hope special mention our Heartmaster have a wonderful interactive session. I hope I mentioned everybody. And for improvement, normally we start the meeting very late, but this time we start 1 minute prior, so I don't have scope for that also. Only thing we have to for the agenda, we have to include everything. Whatever this, even if it is a last minute decision, you can try to add. Rest everything is good, and I wish everyone. And for this interactive session, the credit goes to our Toastmaster of the day, Pradeep. Please give him a brief introduction. And back to Toastmaster of the day to move forward.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Praveen. Can we have a round of applause for the General Evaluator and his team of role players? Now it is time for the planning for the next session. I call upon our as we go in progress of voting for the best role player, apart from the Toastmaster of the day, the planning for the next session, I call upon Acting VP Toastmaster Rajesh.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day. Dear members, how was the session today? Celebrated? How was the payasam? Wonderful. And the snacks? Excellent. So actually, what is the takeaway? Okay. Exactly, payasam is there. And apart from that,
Celebration whiskey.
we have to celebrate each and every session. Every moment of our life, especially any occasions. Whatever occasions are there, we have to celebrate and bring joy. So that's wonderful. And for next session, we have, let me once again. The special session next week, Moments of Truth, conducted by Area Director, Toastmaster Vinesh Matthew. And Toastmaster of the day is Toastmaster Ramalingam. A round of applause. It's a very exciting session. I can see from the members itself. And on one speech, Toastmaster Hashik is going to have speech. Because of Moments of Truth, we have one speech, and General Evaluator is Toastmaster Anil Kumar. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Acting VP Toastmaster Rajesh. Now I call upon the President for this final address and for distribution of certificates. Thank you.
Good evening once again.
Good evening. Good evening.
Have you gone to your childhood memories?
Yes.
Have you gone to your native place?
Yes.
Have you remembered your some festival? The reason? Toastmaster of the day. So I request Toastmaster of the day to collect the award. Thank you. Please be here. Please be here. May I request the guest, Mr. Anant Kumar Ganapati, to come forward and give a few minutes, maybe 1 minute.
Thank you for this wonderful session, first of all. Okay, actually, I never been there, this kind of places. Actually, this is the first time. And even the first time I'm standing in front of this many people. Actually, I'm used to be in the sales, but one-to-one contacts. But I've never been there this much of crowd and standing there.
You will get
So,
that opportunity.
yeah, actually, in the first year, I understood that actually I can improve myself, first of all. Okay, it will help me in the professional growth. Okay, so I will must use this opportunity. Okay, so and I like you people all. Okay, the way of talking you people now really is very excellent. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. You can come every Wednesday, 7:30. Please come. Please. No, that's okay. In the center. Take the water.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. May I request Mr. Mohan Kumar Krishnan? to come forward and give your valuable inputs.
Mr. Mohan,
Say a few words.
Thanks to everyone. And it's a very useful session. I will try to come to after next session. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Every Wednesday we meet with conference people.
May I request Mr. Dhoni to come forward and receive the certificate?
And hi everyone, the Toastmasters, fellow members, and dear guests. Especially the third time I got it. Already I've told it's the third session on me. Especially what I felt here, difference between the interactions and presentations. Where you could find out from here. This is an example. It's like a cooperation. That is more important. Such a passion and love you are giving each other. This is something different. What I felt here definitely is, especially because we have delivered some words like a gleeful and celebrations. Really appreciate you because we would have gone to our native place and our childhood days. Definitely, I'm glad to hear from your speaks because I appreciate you definitely.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you very much once again. I got the certificates, so I'll keep in my mind. This session record. It's my gold medal. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
As you know, we meet every Wednesday. Please.
Definitely. Definitely. I'll be here. Especially because I already had a chance with Mr. Suresh, my colleague. And so as much as possible, I'll be here.
You're always welcome.
Because we are getting reduced to stress. That is the more important.
That's true.
Okay.
Thank you.
Make it a habit.
This is a certificate for Mr. Sheikh Subani.
Thank you so much, sir.
In a minute, there is a benefit of Toastmasters. This I just handed, we missed it out.
May I request Sheikh Subani to say 1 minute, few words?
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, for inviting me for this first session. It's really wonderful, and I would like to attend personally instead of online. So I will try my best for the next session to attend. It's really, I really enjoyed the discussion.
Thank you, Professor Subani.
Yes, sir.
So, best table topic award
is a person who took us to 200 years back or 200 years forward. Not sure what was the topic. I didn't call his name. Yes, it is Santosh Karkal.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Stay here.
And there are two winners for the table topics. The other person who shared with us a new award or celebration which you the Peace Award. Distinguished Toastmaster Nanda Kumar. For those who are quite new, Nanda Kumar sir is a charter member of our club. Yeah. And when I gave the first icebreaker speech, he was my evaluator.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thanks.
Mr. Evaluator.
The best evaluator I need not call upon. I kindly request the evaluator to please come forward. Distinguished Toastmaster, Jinachandran. Yeah.
To point this way. And
And the best speaker, Toastmaster Mrunal. And now the best role player. It is the person who gave butterflies in our stomach and gave us food for the butterflies. Toastmaster Hasik. Now the question is it for the samosa and the dabeli or is it for the topics? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, one and all, and good evening, good night. Meeting is adjourned. We'll have the group photo. Now also paisam. We have paisam. Please take one more paisam. Yes, one more glass or two more glasses.
Like a Goan tourist. Online members.
You can just two wicket, Rajesh. So you can get Chandrapuri sir on top.
Only two we can finish.
The lady of the day can be here.
Yeah, we can close.
Can sit here.
Okay, I think it's fine.
Everyone?
Yes. Ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Smile.
Thank you.
Rajesh, you come. I'll take the photo. You. Look, Mr. I will take it.
Okay.
Okay. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers.
Yes. Sound will not come. Say glee.
Yes.
Celebration mode.
Gleeful.
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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Enjoy. Well spoken. You have taken a dialogue with people where they wanted to see us. And you invited them to the thing.
Good night, yes, sir.
Right.
Good night.
Right, sir. How you celebrated Onam?
Just at home. Nothing. How about you?
Yeah, good, sir. Actually, working day, no? So only parcel.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Second. Sir, how was Onam in Bangalore? Hosur?
Hosur is good, but nothing special.
Nothing special.
No. How about you? Good family get together?
Yeah. No, nothing. It's a working day over here, no?
Hmm.
It's a working day over here. So, dinner, everything over, sir? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Good to watch all the Onam celebration on the TV. That is all what entertainment.
correct. I sitting in the comfort zone, sitting in your house, we bring you everything there. That is true.
The Malayalam channels, there are a lot of celebrations. So
Correct.
right.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye. Good night, sir. Bye. Good night.
Good night.
More than